Welcome to Cyber Bites, your weekly dose of cybersecurity news. I'm your host, Edwin Kwan, and today we've got a packed episode covering some major developments in the world of digital security. Let's dive right in. Our first story takes us down under, where the Australian government has just dropped a bombshell. The Chinese AI chatbot DeepSeek has been banned from all government-issued devices, effective immediately. This decision comes hot on the heels of warnings from intelligence agencies about potential risks associated with the app. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, it's part of a growing global concern about AI technologies developed in China. The Australian government isn't messing around. They've already ordered the immediate deletion of DeepSeek from all government devices. Now, while this ban only applies to government entities, the government is also urging all Australians to be cautious about how their data is used online. It's a reminder that in our interconnected world, data privacy is becoming increasingly crucial. This move follows a similar ban that was made on TikTok and shows that the Australians are taking a hard stance on potential cybersecurity threats from Chinese-developed apps. Next up, we've got a story that's sending shockwaves through the AI community. An anonymous threat actor on the dark web is claiming to have stolen over 20 million OpenAI user login credentials. Now, I know what you're thinking, not another data breach. But this one is pretty serious if it turns out to be true. The alleged hacker is offering these credentials for sale, which is raising serious alarms about the security of OpenAI's user data. Now, it's important to note that OpenAI hasn't confirmed this breach yet, but given the potential impact, users are being advised to take immediate action. If you're an OpenAI user, some of the things that you should do is to change your password immediately and to enable two-factor authentication if you haven't done so already. Now, I know most OpenAI accounts are often used for critical tasks like research and professional projects, so the stakes are pretty high. And such incidents are a reminder of the ever-present cyber threat we face. It's not just about protecting your social media accounts anymore, as even our AI tools are potential targets. Our next story concerns a sneaky piece of malware that's been lurking in the Apple App Store. Apple has just removed 11 iOS apps after they were found to contain malicious code dubbed SparkCat. This malware is particularly crafty. It uses optical character recognition, or OCR, to scan user photos for sensitive data, information like cryptocurrency recovery phases. These apps needed express user permissions to access photos, and this is something that many users likely grant the app without a second thought. Apple has also identified an additional 89 apps with similar malicious code that had previously been rejected or removed from the App Store. This just goes to show how persistent these cybercriminals can be. So how can we protect ourselves? First, be cautious when downloading apps, especially from unknown developers. Second, use Apple's App Privacy Report feature to monitor what data your apps are accessing. And remember, if an app is asking for more permissions that seems necessary, think twice before granting them. Now, let's turn our attention to a concerning trend in Australia. According to a new report from cybersecurity firm Cyberattacks, the healthcare sector has been bearing the brunt of cyber attacks over the past year. The numbers are pretty startling. Healthcare accounted for 17% of all cyber attacks in Australia. And this is followed by financial services at 11%. This has real-world implications. Remember the MediSecure data breach last year that impacted over 12 million Australians? These are the kind of incidents we're talking about here. The report also points to another worrying trend, and that it's taking longer to detect cyber espionage incidents. It's now averaging over 400 days. That means attackers could be lurking in your network for over a year before they are discovered. And lastly, the report also highlights that 65% of incidents were driven by financial gains, which is a reminder that in today's digital world, our personal health data is incredibly valuable to cyber criminals. And now on to our final story, where we're looking at the growing challenge in the world of software development. As no-code platforms become ever popular, they are disrupting traditional security models. Traditional software development follows a structured lifecycle with security baked in every stage. But no-code platforms, which allows users to create apps with minimal coding, often bypass these crucial security stages. So, what's the solution? Experts are suggesting a shift in focus. Instead of trying to apply traditional security, organizations need to adapt their approach. This means concentrating on later stages of development, implementing real-time security detection, and establishing robust testing and deployment policies. It's almost like the opposite of shift left. The key takeaway here is that as technology evolves, so too must our approach to security. And now this is not about stifling innovation. It's about finding new ways to protect our digital assets in an ever-changing landscape. And that wraps up this week's episode of Cyber Bites. Remember, in the world of cybersecurity, knowledge is power, so stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next week with more bite-sized cyber news. This is your host, Edwin Kwan, signing off.